Right. Do my ritual hand clap. A very good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Monday Motivation with Eugene Wood and myself, Sunil Osmond. This show has been produced by Maria Tsangaras, all the way from Australia. And on the show, we cover various topics with life, love, and business. If you've missed any of our topics, please feel free to go to YouTube and also IGTV. Look for Influencer SA, where we hope we can make a difference and add value. Eugene, what is our topic today?
Well, today's topic is who am I? So, this is a very interesting question because it's so relative to every single one of us. But who are you? Who are you? Who am I? So, that's what we're
Exactly.
going to be talking about today.
Today's topic is Who Am I? And we'll be right back straight after this. Welcome back, everybody, to Monday Motivation with Eugene Wood and myself, Sunil Osmond. Today's topic is Who am I? Who are you? Who are you really? And when we start talking about this topic, the first thing that comes to mind is definitely finding your identity. Who are you, and what do you base your identity on? Is it based on your memories, your socialization process, the experiences you have had, the feelings you have around certain things, your thoughts, the relationships you experience? What kind of values do you express? And I think a very good way to start this off is by giving an example. So if you are a father and you've got a son, your your identity, you are a father. Or if you are a passenger at a time on a train, for example, your identity at that time is that you are a passenger. What about when you're married or in a relationship? You are the partner to somebody else. You are the husband or the girlfriend or boyfriend. All identities are basically based on everything you believe you are at that time and what you formulate during your life journey. What do you say, Eugene?
Definitely. Because as you expect, like you've given a few examples, so you are a passenger but you're still a father and you're still a husband. You can take on a whole bunch of these identities, but what makes you you? Like all these identities, we are all familiar with it. We can familiarize ourselves with these identities because we see it on a daily basis. But you as an individual are all these and more. So, who are you?
Yeah.
And
And,
today I
and
think
in
we've got
reality, I
11
mean,
points to cover.
we've got 11 steps that we will cover. But in reality, from a spiritual Reiki master point of view, and perhaps not too religious point of view, but from another point of view, in reality, we are all external souls. And I always say we are souls having a human experience. And we need to start learning how to experience our true selves in order to find out who you really, really are. And when you don't know who you are, what you start doing is you start creating identities for yourself because you just want to find yourself. You actually don't realize it, but you want to find yourself. You want to be able to fit into something. You want to be able to fit into a category so you can decide who you are. Who am I really? And at this point, I just want to say that we're not trying to box anybody because that's what society does. Society tries to put you in a box, and it's human nature to put people in a box, and that you do in order to try and understand people. And that is a subconscious bias thing where you try and understand people. When you don't have a dialogue, I'm speaking with my hands, when you don't have a dialogue with somebody you don't fully understand them, you're going to put them in a box to try and understand them. But at the end of the day, you may actually just be trying to understand who you are.
Hmm. Hmm. Because you're not going to identify, like, you might think you have identified their box, but you don't really know who they are. You know, like that saying, first impressions last. Like you often see someone and you automatically assume, and we've already discussed assumptions and stuff like that. You already assume, so you placing people in boxes, and but you could have it so wrong, so completely wrong. And as Sunil
Exactly.
says, are you getting it wrong because that is what you're searching for? Are you projecting your who you are on others? We perceive people in certain ways, how they interact with us, how they come across, especially on social media. Like some people think they know each other from just seeing a video. Now you're placing people in boxes, but you're also assuming a lot
Yes.
about them.
Yes. Yeah, no, I'm so glad you mentioned social media, because as I was summarizing the notes provided by our producer Maria, something came to mind which really struck me. And this only happened from about 5 years ago, because I come from a very artificial, very fake industry where you have to portray a certain persona. And I decided not to do that too much anymore, because I needed to know who I am and express who I am. And I've got it written here. There's no greater pleasure in the past couple of years when people meet me and they say, "You're exactly like you say you are on social media." And there is just a lack of that in society. Yes, I'm gonna do silly videos and silly stuff on. I'm not talking about the funny tequila videos and stuff. Okay, well, I do like tequila, but you know what I'm saying. It's. I mean, when I met Eugene, when Eugene looked at me, he was like, "Oh, this is really Sunil," and that for me is so important, because you have to portray certain things to society, but you always need to come back to yourself. And when it comes to finding yourself, our producer has highlighted 11 very, very good steps, which I think we can discuss now. And step number one to finding out who you are, who am I? Just by the way, the line, "Who am I?" is one of the most powerful lines from a movie called Breakfast Club. Watch that scene if you can. But coming back to those 11 steps that we're going to give you now, use them, don't use them, but I feel these are fantastic, fantastic steps. So, point number one of 11, identify your personality type, because we are all unique. We really are all unique. And yes, it's still about categorizing, but you're still finding about who you are by finding out what kind of personality you are. Like, I know Eugene is not the kind of personality that's going to go knock back 10 tequilas with me, but he will let me have the 10 tequilas because I have different personality, well, maybe five. But you understand what I'm saying? Identifying your personality type is crucial to be finding out who you are. Point number two, Eugene.
Obscure your feelings. Identify how you react emotionally to experiences. Can teach you a lot about yourself. You know what I mean? Like help you spot areas that you might want to adjust in because sometimes our feelings get in the way. They really do, especially when it comes to the heart. You know what I mean? So identifying those and saying, okay, well, let me work on this and let me work on this because these are soft spots or these are my strong points. Like really focusing and like taking the emotion out of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And something very, very nice said here by our producer, speaking about feelings and things. People may express various kind of feelings on social media. For example, a comedian, somebody could be a comedian on social media and they could be the most serious person in real life. They might not have those comedic feelings towards every single thing. I mean, the most horrible
Hmm.
thing for me when I was doing comedy, because I did comedy for a good 10 years, was people coming up to me and go, "Tell me a joke." I'm like, "I'm the most serious person. What are you talking about?" Well, I'm serious sometimes. Okay, so point number two was observing your feelings. Point number three, discover who you relate to, who you look up to, and also discover why. There is something which I highlighted, which I found online, which is called the why ladder. Find out why you relate to certain people, because it's never external circumstances that bring light to things that need to be healed, for example. And it's often easier to see yourself in other people. Why? Because we are a reflection of each other. And this is so important to grasp, that we are a reflection of other people. Because why do you find a role model inspirational? Do you relate to them on a certain level? If you look at your own life and then you look at theirs, have you been through something similar that you can relate to? Or are you aspiring to be what they are because you find that inside of you? These kind of steps may help you get closer to your true self. And I'm going to take it back to you being a reflection of other people. Because sometimes you might have an issue or a situation and you react to it in a certain way. And it could be just a reflection of who you are and what you've been through. So discover who you relate to and also who you look up to. That's point number 3. Eugene, point number 4.
Point number 4, ask others what they think about you. Now, don't just ask anybody. Ask people that you trust and people close to you. You know what I mean? Because they know you better. They are going to they're going to maybe have seen something in you that you might not have seen in yourself. So asking someone, like, there's identifying aspects, they might identify aspects of your personality that you might not know. Like I know that this is a really good point, because I like this point. Like, because I have been able to identify certain things in others which they haven't
Mm,
necessarily noticed in themselves yet. Same thing happened to me
yes.
12, 13 years ago. Someone identified something in me that I definitely didn't identify with. But 12, 14 years later, I'm like, well, I'm kind of doing this now. Me sitting here on a live with Sunil Osman talking about motivational stuff was exactly what someone had seen in me all that time. And I've done that with others recently, where I've seen something in them where they've actually landed up quitting their jobs because they are now working for themselves. So asking
Yes.
others is a good point, but asking people you trust is important.
Yeah, and some of the people you can trust, like Maria has said here, is when you admire your mentor, you can find out why you admire your mentor. Trust your mentor. Find out why you are trusting your mentor. Also, when you choose a mentor, choose the right mentor. So that was point number 4. Point number 5, consider your core values. It is so important to consider your core values, because when you discover what your values are, not everybody else's values, your values are, you find out what actually dictates the way you live, your integrity. What do you regard as being dependable or fair? What are your core values? Not Eugene's core values. Eugene might have some similar values to me, but I've got different values too. But once you discover that, this is all part of a journey towards awareness and also being able to find your true self. So that was point number 5. Eugene, point number 6 of 11.
Point number 6 is reflect on the past. Now, recall what you enjoyed most as a child. Like, I've actually done a post about this where I've said, remember when you were a child and you believed you could do anything in the world, you could conquer Everest, and you were like, oh, I'm going to do this, and I'm like, whatever happened to that person? Find that person again. Um, and also, like, look at things that you're proud of. Like, okay, I know I'm quite bad at this. Like, I can be quite hard on myself. But every now and then, someone will actually say to me, "Well, take a step back." And then especially people that know me, they'll say, "Take a step back and just look at what you've done so far." And then if you look at
Mm,
what you've done over the last 5, 10 years, where you were to where you are, if you're working on yourself, then that's looking at the past. You can see how much you've changed, who you were to who you've become, because the past does
yes,
shape you. That your experiences from the past do define your character going forward, because they're going to have taught you so many lessons. So reflect on the
yes.
past is a very key point into who am I.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And as you say about the past, when you find out about things about yourself, at this point, my Reiki master lessons and teachings comes in. When you as an individual start ascending, you start becoming more aware and awakened, what you will find is that you will trigger more people. More people will get angry at you, or people will, their demons get woken inside of them. But it is up to them to discover that and deal with it. You could find examples of this all the place, all over. Like Eugene, you've been on it. I've been on it, and I notice, I recognize it when things are so obvious, and you tell the person, "This is why you're reacting like this," because when you become more aware of yourself, other people's energies pick up on it, and when you become more towards your true self, you irritate their demons because their demons don't want them to wake up. I just thought I'd throw that in there. All right. So, point number 7, look at the future. Eugene said investing in yourself. Yes. Look at the future. We spoke about investing in yourself recently. You need to have a clear vision of how you want it to look. I had a friend that told me once that I dreamed too much. I dreamed too much about my future. But what they didn't realize is that I was putting action plans in place. So daydream. Whether it's a peaceful dream, whether it's about what do you like doing, what do you like doing, that is going to help you progress into the next stage of your life. Because you know what? It is your life. It is who you are. Remember, today's topic is who I am. Who are you? I am the person deciding my future. I am the person deciding I'm going to go to Australia. I am the person deciding that I'm going to get down on one knee and marry Maria. I am deciding that. If Eugene says no, dude, I don't think you should do. I don't think you should do that, dude. That is Eugene's thoughts. It's not his future. It's my future.
100%.
Point point number 8.
Point number 8 is try new things. I know,
Yes,
like
have it.
for instance, like go on that, take that cooking class. If you don't know how to cook and you want to do, go take that class. Try it. Maybe you've always wanted to do a painting. What are you waiting for? Like, you never know what or who you will discover behind that class. And I'm not talking about another person, I'm talking about yourself now. You might go to that cooking class, cook something up, and be like, and bam, that's you. You're like, no, wait, actually, I'm passionate about this. And then you start working towards that. You know what I mean? Like, go and just go out of your comfort zone. Like, going live has always been out of my comfort zone. The more you try it, the more
Yeah.
you start, it starts becoming easier and better. And I didn't think I was going to be doing that, but I tried something new, and it has made a difference.
Yeah. And you know, some taking the example of cooking class, Eugene, people will find that passion and they go, "Oh no, it's going to cost too much money," and then they stop putting themselves off. That's stopping you from your journey, stopping you from finding out who you are. Find a way to do it. Put the actions in place. Don't let it just lay there. People always say things, "Yeah, no, I'm going to manifest this." Great, manifest it, but what are you doing to make sure the manifestation happens? Point number 9, write everything down. Now, when I say write everything down, I'm not saying have like a book like this next to your bedside. You can have a small shorthand book, write down keywords. But journaling is so important. I mean, I've only realized the importance of journaling in the past 2 years, and I don't write every day. It's not a task. The moment it becomes a task, it becomes a problem. You need to make sure that it is actually part of what you want to do. List the things that you like or dislike, your values and goals. Write down the things that are important to you. And if writing is not the important thing that you want to do, create a mind map. Everybody's mind thinks differently. Everybody's mind thinks differently. So that was point number 9. Point number 8 was try new things. Point number 9 is write down everything, journaling, creating a mind map. Point number 10, Eugene, talk to me.
Point number 10 is meditate. Okay. Now, I know a lot of people will meditate, and a lot of people, when you say meditate, they're like, oh, no, no. But meditate doesn't have to be like, like all that. Just take that time for yourself and just reflect on what's going on in your life. Just calm yourself down. Just take a couple of seconds and just breathe. Just breathe and just remember everything about who you are and your purpose and what it is that in what it is that makes you you, because
Yeah.
that is the thing that's going to get you up and going. Now I know meditate, like, and Sunil can elaborate more on this. I don't really meditate, but I do take time for myself every now and then, even if it is just 5 minutes, just to try and catch my breath every now and then.
Yeah. So let me speak about point number 10, meditate just a little bit. People very confuse meditation with sitting down for 20, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour a day. Yes, that's very good. But just pausing like Eugene does, just acknowledging your breathing is a form of meditation. Some people don't want to meditate. Some people see meditation or prayer as a form of meditation, and that is okay. If you take your breath in and you hold it and you just acknowledge that breath for the moment, I teach every Reiki client how to do an infinity breath. This helps them just focus and calm down. Meditation is not sitting in a yoga position or crouching tiger, hidden dragon position for 20 minutes, because that's not for everybody. You need to find, and again, it's about who are you? What is your preference? Who am I?
Hmm,
Find what works for you.
hmm,
Try different things. Like point number 8, try different meditations. Go and Google or YouTube a meditation. I've got meditations that I do that are 3 minutes long, that are 5 minutes long. I've got one that I do as a Reiki master, which is meant to be 35 minutes long, which is sometimes just 7 minutes long. It all comes down to you, your energy, where you are. Because again, today's topic is who am I? So, point number 11 of 11, and we'll do a recap of these points straight after this. This one is so important. I'm so glad our producer Maria put this down here, because this was something that was crucial, that's come out of all my Reiki teachings, that's come out of everybody I meet, and something I am guilty of in my past. Accept what you find without judgment. Now, this is when you find things about yourself. Don't judge yourself. Lots of times when you're judging yourself according to what society says you are meant to be. This is about you. Who am I? Who are you? So, for example, you might find something that goes against something that you thought you were. Don't judge yourself. It's part of the process of discovering who you are. It's extremely hard to not judge, because we are coming from such a judgmental, critical society. There's something I say a lot, which is it's hard to be real in an artificial world. And sometimes for me, it's frustrating because I see it and I just want to grab people through the phone sometimes and go, what are you doing? But you can't, because everybody is on their own journey, and we don't know where they are on that journey. We've said that countless times in these lives. You may find or feel like you are disappointing somebody, but are you disappointing them because of their expectations or who you are? Here, not here, not in the head. Don't want to be in the head, be in the heart. What is your truth saying? What is your true self saying? Sometimes this is another part that you need to acknowledge. When somebody has an issue with you, it is not you, because you are being you. It is them. They are the ones that have expectations, or oh, it makes me so angry. Or their demons are being woken up because you are being so true to yourself. You are being so real. And again, I'm going to say it again. It is so hard being real in an artificial world. I can't tell you how many times people have told me I'm too real for them. And then they distance themselves because you waken up that demon inside of them, or those demons. And the demons are actually just us, or me, or you, triggering things that need to be healed within them. And sometimes there are things that are triggered that need to be healed within you. to find their
I'll
true
give you
self.
I'll give you a bit of an example, yeah, without mentioning anyone. But a couple of years ago, I'm I'm very motivated in what I do, and I spotted something in someone, and they were doing really good in life. They're still doing really good in life, but they thought they were like, and I said, I just thought that they could do more. Like they could go study. Did they like my comment? No, not at all. They did not like
Trigger.
me saying that I think they could do better because at that point in their life, they thought they were. But fast forward 2 years, they are now studying to get their masters. They now have gotten a promotion, two promotions higher than what they were. And their course sent them on a motivational talk through the company, which then changed her outlook. And now she's like, "Well, now you got to do better. You got to achieve." And I'm like, so when someone else tells you it's okay, but when I told you it wasn't, like, okay, like,
Yes,
so
yes.
yeah.
And that happens a lot
But
where you
that had
say
nothing
something
to
to
do with
somebody and they
me.
won't react.
That was them. Hmm.
It is them. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say now. All right, so Rich, recap on the 11 steps of finding out who you are. Very nicely highlighted by our producer, Maria. Thank you very much for that. Point number 1, identify your personality type. Observe your feelings. Point number 2.
As an observer.
Point
Sorry.
number 3, find out who you relate to, why you relate to them, who you look up to them, why you look up to them.
Point number 4, ask others what they think of you, especially people that you trust.
Point number 5, consider your core values.
Point number 6, reflect on the past.
Big one. Point number 7, look at your future.
Point number 8, try new things.
Please. Point number 9, write down things, write down everything, start journaling.
Point number 10, meditate. Take that time for yourself.
And point number 11, I think one of the most crucial points, point number 11 of finding out who you are, accept what you find out about yourself without judgment. Without judgment. And after those 11 points, we'll be right back straight after this with Who Am I? Sunny Motive, written by Sunil Osman, uses and explains motivational quotes to encourage readers of all ages to take bold steps in life, love, and business. Order your copy now by emailing Lauren Moy Publishing on sales@laurenmoypublishing.com. Also available on takealot.com and amazon.com. Welcome back to Monday Motivation, everybody, with Eugene Wood and myself, Sunil Osman. This is the conclusion for today's topic, which is Who am I? Who am I? So, in conclusion, I'm going to start off by saying that finding out who you are is not only helpful about how you live, but it also helps you discover your own morals, values, and beliefs of yourself, and also helps you understand other people too. What do you say, Eugene?
Definitely. Definitely. And the more, in my opinion, working on yourself and discovering more about yourself, the more you discover about yourself and the more you discover who you are, the more exciting life starts becoming. It really does, because you are willing to take those opportunities. You're willing to move on. You're willing to, fear of the unknown isn't as fearful because you've learned, I am capable of this, and you want, so moving on and learning about who you are is key. So I really enjoyed this topic today. But
Okay.
let's get to the conclusion, eh?
Yeah. So I'm going to touch on what Eugene has spoken about now slightly here and say that finding yourself will help you be able to do more through your life, like he has said here, with confidence, with that confidence as you spoke of. It'll help you understand who you are and what you stand for. Not just merely what you think you are, what you just think you're feeling inside, but you are not what you say on the outside. You're also what you are on the inside.
Awesome.
So I want to touch on one thing very quickly before we conclude to tell you what next week's topic is going to be, or the next topic is going to be, is that when you become more who you are, more your true self, remember that you are going to trigger people's demons. You are going to trigger things, and those are often things that need to be healed. But this journey is about finding out who you are. Who am I? Eugene,
Exactly.
closing comments and also letting us know what next week's topic is.
Well, as Sunil said there, it's about discovering who you are. And like he said, it's not just on the inside, on the outside, it's inside. It's everything about you is you are the only one in control of your future and your path and your journey. So knowing who you are inside, outside, what you're capable of is key. So who are you? Think about it, because at the end of the day, this question, yeah, defines you and how you move forward in life.
Absolutely. This has been Monday Motivation with Eugene Wood and Sunil Osmond. Eugene, what is our next topic?
Our next topic is adapting to change. So next week is
A big
adapting
one.
to change.
Adapting to change, and that could be life, in your love life, in business, adapting to new circumstances and all that. Adapting to change is going to be the next topic. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us on Monday Motivation with Eugene Wood and Sunil Osmond. This show has been produced by Maria Singaras, all the way from Australia. Thank you very much for your contributions. Love and light to everyone.
Have a good day, guys.